Day number 4. Got about 187 cigarettes to go. So I've been smoking before workout, smoke before bed. Be able to cut down these motherfuckers soon. I don't really feel much different than usual. I pretty much feel about the same. Cigarettes wise, how much I like them, I could take them, I could leave them at this point. I'm still on my first pack, so who knows? Maybe on second pack, I'll start getting dependent on them. I smoked one of these down before I went to the gym. I actually did notice kind of a bump and how hard I could have gone. I mean, it's not like I'm doing much. I'm doing isolation machine, so it's not really much of anything, but I did feel a bump. So maybe all that stuff about this being good pre-workout is an actual thing. Should combo with my actual pre-workout and see what happens. Should have been smoking at night. This is fucking relaxing. I'm trying to run out of shit to talk about. I got the manga homunculus. It's fucking tight. I know it's pretty divisive. Can't talk. But it is interesting though. Very interesting. And I was like the parts of supernatural stuff to talk about. Because it really comes down to, it's more or less just in his head. Because he's just a kind of person that pays attention to subtle cues about people. Alright, let's be honest. I mean, it wasn't like crazy to assume that guy was a transsexual. I mean, just looking at the motherfucker, you could probably piece that together. It's not like his powers of deduction did that. Scene with the fucking teenager was fucking weird though. That's definitely one of the weirder parts. But at the end, he's just completely fucking insane. So, I mean, it's not surprising. That's probably all in his head at that point. I read that, and then I read Goodnight Pun Pun. Obviously, reading Goodnight Pun Pun is a fucking thing in itself, because it makes you want to fucking shoot yourself. I don't know if there's any, like, not surface level morals when it comes to, like, Goodnight Pun Pun, because really it's just, like, you learn from his mistakes, how he fucks shit up. I guess if anything, just don't live in the past. Move on with your fucking life. Make good decisions about shit that decides your future. Homunculus is fucking weird though. I mean, the fucking guy eats his own cum as like a hobby. And that kind of took me off guard. Then I remembered the guy's a fucking psycho, and then it makes sense. He's a fucking psycho, that's the point. You're not supposed to see him as like someone special or anything. It seemed like the author really wanted to say something about plastic surgery. I don't know if he had plastic surgery. Fucking win. But what do you have to say pretty much it boiled down to when you get plastic surgery, it's like your face isn't your face anymore. You lose your identity. Now I gotta be honest, I don't think you could be more wrong. It's not like I would get plastic surgery, but it's not like I recognize my own face. Honestly, anytime I see my face, I wonder if it's even mine. I don't even think I recognize my parents' faces, honestly. I don't think I've ever really looked at them. That might just be my own set of fuck up, though. I remember with my ex-wife, my biggest thing is I wanted to memorize her, get that shit out of my head where I can't actually like remember her face, and so I try to like look at it and study it, feel all the structure of it, and try to get it stuck in my head. Like 2 years later now, I don't even remember what her face looks like. I guess it's something where you have to see it to remember it. It's like you recognize it, but you can't put it back together in your head. You know, some people think plastic surgery is very like a vain thing to do. I don't get it. I mean, sure, if like you're 86 and you want to look like you're 20, that's not going to happen. But a certain amount of someone's health is decided by their confidence, their self-image, and how they feel inside of themselves. I mean, if they look younger and they start feeling younger, they're gonna actually have a better time than without. You don't have to make them look like a fucking teenager or a doll or anything, but just a little bit to make them feel refreshed and feel confident in themselves and go a long way with their health. And something a lot of people will forget is like all this shit's hooked up like tight. Your brain, your body, your feelings, your emotions, all of it runs in the same area. And if one thing is lacking, it's going to bring all the other stuff down. Not to say that plastic surgery is going to fix all your fucking problems, but it might not be a bad idea if you look like a fucking... you crawled out of a dumpster. I know really when it comes to in Asia, plastic surgery is pretty big. Yeah, they're trying to look like a different race, the eyes or something. Because I know that's a really popular surgery. Or they just want to look better. But I know it's pretty big over there. That might be why the author took inspiration from that. I mean, can you really blame an ugly person for getting plastic surgery? I fucking can. If I was ugly, I'd get plastic surgery too. If I was so genetically unfortunate, it's not like I'm gonna live my life like a fucking freak. I can make my cock longer, make my muscles bigger, make me taller, make my face look better. I mean, if you're below average, fuck it, dude. What do you have to lose? Is there really a problem with that? I'd say some people have a problem with trying to pursue perfection. And there really isn't anything to be gained by perfection. If you go for perfection, there's always going to be something wrong with you. There is no such thing as a perfect person. It's your insecurities, your imperfections that show your perfection. And you bring out the beauty and the parts of your body that shine through. And I know my face is pretty fucked, but I always get compliments on my eyes. I got a nice eye color, thank fuck for that. Talked about all the shit I wanted to talk about, so now I got nothing else to talk about. I'm gonna fucking think of something. Because beauty standards are kind of fucked up. The kind of things people don't feel good about, either their stomach or their face or their neck. I mean, there's always something to fucking worry about. But at the end of the day, Sometimes things are natural, just natural for a fucking reason. You know, a big thing with chicks is their fucking tummy. I think every chick I've ever talked to has some kind of insecurity about their stomach, and you're gonna have fat there, you're a woman. You have extra fat there because that's where it's supposed to go. I mean, yeah, there's chicks that have like a flash-aboard fucking abs on their stomach, but if it's not you, why fucking get all fucking antsy about it? I mean, if anything, guys aren't really that picky. Especially when it comes to like a woman, we fucking take what we get and we fall in love with what our partners have. It's not like any of us are built like we're looking for something specific. We find what we want to find, and then we just kind of fall in love with what we have. We gotta obviously identify like what looks good, what doesn't look good. Fucking wind is taking my cigarette box. I'll put it over here. Fuck. I think that really is the difference between men and women when it comes to how we see attractive features. Because women are very particular about what they're looking for. They have a specific set of stuff they want. You have to check these boxes and you cannot check these boxes. But guys are different. I think with guys we have this kind of things, it's just boxes we don't want checked, and there's a very small amount. Like, don't be on drugs, don't be fat, don't be a fucking serial killer, but some guys might be into that. I'm into that, honestly. I'm kind of fucked up. But everything else, fuck it, dude. Like, I can fall in love with a chick with a butter face. It's fucking cute. And plus then I know she won't cheat on me because she's fucked up looking. Could absolutely fucking wife that. And I can recognize that like there's fucking supermodel chicks, but if I'm with somebody, I'm with somebody. I think somebody I heard said it best, especially when it comes to looking for someone specific as a guy. It's like if you want them to align with your politics completely, you want them to have the same hobbies, you want them to be playing video games with you, or watching sports with you, or going to the gym with you. Like, you want a guy, dude. You want to fuck a man. Like, if you want to go fuck a man, go ahead, but don't expect like a woman to fucking... I mean, it would be awesome if they did, but you're looking for like a 1 in a million chance. I guess when it comes down to it, you're just looking for the specifics. Like, is she going to be a good person to you? Is she going to make your life better? Is she not super fucked up to look at? Is she nice? And I guess after that, just everything else can fuck off. I don't care. I mean, falling in love, that's a lot different than falling in lust. The first kinds of emotions you feel, if like someone just turns you on, those shit's fucking kind of an instant. Actual love, like love, that's something you work at every day. I think a lot of people don't realize that because too many movies have kind of clouded their perception of how relationships work. They think it's supposed to be like, this is the person, and then everything else is going to work out once I'm with them. And it's really not. You have to really fight for a relationship that you want. You got to fight yourself, and sometimes you have to fight her. like you have to figure out how to argue with each other, and that doesn't mean like argue to win, but argue as in you have to figure out how to solve a disagreement without fucking each other up or pissing her off or pissing yourself off. Deal with your emotions the way you're supposed to as a man. Accept people's shortcomings, accept your shortcomings, and work on them. That's not easy. That's a fucking bitch and a half. And nobody really gets it. It's supposed to be a bitch. It's not easy. That's probably why our divorce rates are so high. I don't know. I'd say some women, though, aren't worth it. Like, are you willing to put in that effort for this person? Probably not. Probably shouldn't be with them. Like, not even as like a friends with benefits situation, because that's just gonna fuck you up. Let's talk about plastic surgery, isn't it? I mean, a person's confidence, that is an important factor. Because that does decide your health. I think there's an experiment done where this person got a bunch of old people in like a fucking commune or something, and he treated them like they were about 30 years younger than they were, and it turns out they started moving and acting like they were 30 years younger than they were. As their mentality changed. They were playing fucking touch football with each other like 70 years old. They were hanging out, they were drinking beer, they were fucking getting down with it. It really is like a mind over matter kind of thing. I used to believe that a person's brain is kind of where the person is and everything else is just kind of meat, but it's wrong. Everything is hooked into each other. The way my hands affect my brain, the way my feet affect my brain, the way my organs affect my brain, especially the way my hormones affect my brain. All of it is connected. All of it has an effect on the other. If you don't acknowledge that, you're kind of fucked. This motherfucking cigarette butt is not getting blown away because it's the third fucking one. I'll put it right there. I'll pick it up in a sec. It's 4 cigarettes. After this one, that'll be 183. So 183 more cigarettes to smoke. I mean, honestly, I don't really like smoking. It kind of feels good, like, maybe like the first 10 seconds you're doing it, but, I mean, I'd rather be getting drunk, or I'd rather be fucking doing some other kind of drug. Or I'd rather be at the gym. I'd rather be working out. That shit fucking... When it comes to, like, dopamine and serotonin hits, lifting weights, there's nothing that fucking matches that. Especially when, like, you're really getting going. The feeling is fucking incredible. There's a reason they call the gym man therapy, because it's what it is. It's what we should be doing. And I wish a lot of more people would figure that out, but we really do live in like an age of laziness. I sound like a fucking boomer when I say that. Fuck boomers. One will be living in a house by now. Nice house, I could have a garden all myself, I could build whatever I want, raise some chickens, but I'm in this shitty fucking apartment right now. I even had a chance. If I wasn't with my ex, I probably could have been in a house by now. Because that's what I wanted to do, but she wanted to go to an apartment because she wanted out of her grandma's place. It really is fucked up, like the way a woman can change a man and kind of completely twist them around from who they really were. But it happens. You really have to respect that it happens. Like, pay attention to yourself. See what the fuck is happening in your life. What would the man you were 2 years ago say to the man you are now? I think like the first week without her, I had to realign myself and figure out who the fuck I was without her. So I was kind of all in with it. I changed a lot for that woman. I wouldn't take it back though. I wouldn't take anything back. As many times I've fucked up in my life, as many times I've fucked up parts of my life that I wish I could take back, I wouldn't take it back. It's those mistakes that made me who I am. It's those mistakes that taught me things that I will take to my grave. A lot of people have that fantasy, what if I can go back in time and fix all my mistakes? You shouldn't fix all your mistakes. You shouldn't fix all your mistakes. As much as they fucked you up, they're the reason you know they were mistakes. If you didn't know they were mistakes, then where the fuck would you be? You'd be right back there making those mistakes. Miss the desert. Used to be around times like this, I'd go drive out in the desert. It's like as far as I could go, where there's no lights, there's no city lights, there's no one around. I just stay there, listen to music, stare up at the sky where all the stars are. It really is a fucking tragedy that most of this country's covered by lights to the point where you can't see the night sky the way it's supposed to look anymore. But when you go out there and you see it, it's like you've been blind your entire life, and just now you woke up enough so you can see the world for what it is. Maybe once I get my foot brace, you can start walking, I'll probably go out there. Not like you can see the stars off this camera, but it is a different world up there. I think if I could be anywhere, I'd be in the middle of the woods at night where it's always snowing. Then I'd be happy. Kind of fucking sick of this town. Alright. 183 cigarettes to go. I think it's about almost a tenth of the way there. 4 days. So maybe about 40 days we'd be done with this, depending on how fast I can smoke the rest of them.